Rapmore gang, we had some very sad news yesterday coming out of the rap community as one of the most prominent rappers that was kind of coming up in this new generation of Jacksonville rappers unfortunately lost his life. I'm talking about Lil Papa. And basically Lil Poppa, he was involved in some of the stuff that was going on in the Jacksonville street rap scene. You know, I touched on some of his involvement in the Julio Fulio Young and Ace beef in the long video I did on the deadly war in Jacksonville. And it's unfortunate now that after surviving a whole lot of really tough stuff, he unfortunately lost his life. And it does seem like he may well have not gone out actually as the result of the gang war or the ops, but actually his struggles with mental health and making a decision to kind of end things of his own accord, if I can put it politely. But I first wanted to show you the news reporting of his death on First Coast News from Jacksonville. They kind of broke the news and gave a little bit of backstory on his life and what was actually leading up to his tragic passing.
Music fans across the U.S. are mourning the loss of a Jacksonville rapper. That's our top story tonight. Thank you for staying up with us. I'm Anthony Austin.
I'm Heather Crawford. Lil Papa, born Janarius Wheeler, has died at the age of 25. The medical examiner's office in Fulton County, Georgia, confirming his death to us. The Jacksonville native built a loyal fan base. Christina Burgess has been speaking with those who grew up with him. And Christina, they tell you that his legacy will live on.
Heather and Anthony, Lil Papa was more than just a rapper. He was a hometown dream turned reality. At just 25 years old, he built a powerful voice for himself in the music industry. Now, as friends, family, and fans try to process his sudden loss, those who grew up beside him say that he was bigger than just music.
He was just a great guy. Outside of the music and the artistry, man, he was a good human. And I'll never forget him.
Jacksonville native and music producer Scotty OTH says he grew up with rapper Lil Papa, and the two shared big dreams.
I was making beats, then he was making music. In 2019, 18, we ended up making, our first track together. Outside is deeper than music. That was family to me. We called each other cousins.
Scotty says his grind was unmatched.
Very hard worker. I ain't never seen nobody outwork Papa. Papa was the last man standing in the studio. Forever Young was Papa's favorite song that we did together.
In 2022, Lil Papa signed with Yo Gotti's Collective Music Group, a defining moment in his career. He released several fan favorites, including Love and War, Mind Over Matter, and Happy Tears, along with projects like Almost Normal Again. Just this past Friday, he released a new single titled Out of Town Bay. Since the news of his passing broke, Lil Papa has been trending on X. He had nearly 1 million followers on Instagram and more than 600,000 listeners on Spotify.
I feel empty, but I love him. I love him to death. I always will. And I'm just trying to compartmentalize everything.
Photographer and creator Terrence Tyson says he met Lil Papa at the very beginning of his career.
I know how, myself and a lot of other people, how hard we went for him to get where he needed to be. It was a shock, it was a big loss.
Tyson says the rapper pushed through trials and tribulations to create opportunities for himself and others.
When he made it, it felt like everyone made it.
Now, as Jacksonville and fans across the country mourn this loss, those closest to him say his heart and music will keep his legacy alive.
He's going to live on. His legacy is going to continue.
He was a star.
And Lil Papa was scheduled to perform at his birthday bash on March 21st at the Fillmore Center in New Orleans. No details surrounding his death have been released.
So it's so sad that he didn't get to make it to perform on his birthday, but his involvement in the street politics of Jacksonville was pretty well documented. Now, he had deep established roots in the city's rap scene, specifically the Click 1200. But basically, he had actually made songs with Julio Fulio, one of the biggest ops of that crew, prior to their beef. And his name would actually even be brought up in the Julio Fulio trial. And he'd even got into a giant brawl with Fulio in the mall. So let's hear what Fulio kind of had to say about Lil Poppa from the days before their beef when they were actually doing songs and cool with each other.
Another shocking thing you mentioned in the record was Lil Papa, another Jacksonville artist who releases quality music.
Yeah,
he seems to stay to himself. He's not all over the blogs and doing all this. And you mentioned him. What's the history with you and him? How does that correlate?
Shit, we got songs too. We got songs out on YouTube and shit. But shit, we just got in the we fought. I beat his ass type shit. I had beat his ass and shit in the mall and shit. Me and my little cousin Coach had beat his ass in the mall and shit. And that just was that. That shit on, you know what I'm saying? That just was that.
How do you go from making songs with somebody to fighting? Like, what is that energy? How does that energy even come about? Like, what happened?
This what it be, Sean. When I make a song, I say people's name right. I'm direct with it. Y'all don't hear the 1,000 sneak disses a nigga say to me, antagonize me and shit. You get what I'm saying? So when I see you, I'ma address it type shit. Y'all probably ain't hear the million sneak disses because y'all don't know what's going on in Jacksonville, but we heard the shit. So when we see you, what it be about, you know what I'm saying? Nah, nigga on your ass. Nah, nigga beating your ass. Nah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the incident he's referring to. Now, I'm not going to play this to you. I don't want to get in any trouble, but it's basically a big fight. It looks like they're in Foot Locker or something, right? And they basically have a big brawl. They're rolling around on the floor. This is in 2018, okay? Fulio and Lil Papa fighting them all. I can't play you this because I'll get in trouble. But there's a famous Fulio lyric where he said, Papa, you been a bitch. We beat your ass and made you a victim. Caught a rapper at the mall, beat him real quick. Whoever in the red got beat. All right? They're saying that looked like Jack in the Black. So, man, it was a nice little 2v1. You're making it seem like they all just jumped Papa. And so they did jump him, all right? They did dump him. They're saying Fulio Spartan kicked him, all right? J-Dot was popping the F out of Papa, all right? So this was pretty serious. Now, interestingly enough, okay, it would actually turn out that this incident itself would put an even bigger target on Fulio's back. And apparently CP3, also from the 1200 set, would later suggest that this specific fight was actually a big catalyst for serious violence that followed. And this was a lyric where he kind of referenced that. Where basically CP3 admitting that if Fulio didn't fight Poppa, he wouldn't have killed Trey D.
We gon' slide. If you wouldn't have fought my brother, your home would still be alive. But he dead. I got shit.
So he's saying if you hadn't fought my brother, your homie would still be alive, but he dead. That's why they killed Trey D. All right. This goes to my point. Only certain members were even beefing. All right. Basically, they were given cut circle hell after Trey D died. So look, if you follow the Jacksonville gang wars, you'll know that these feuds get so personal. So many people have been killed on both sides. Now, when Fulio eventually lost his life, allegedly at the result of 1,200 members that had been stalking him and trying to kill him for years at this point, Lil Poppa's name even got brought up during that trial too. So this is an incident, right, where his name was brought up, and they're saying this was the time when Alicia Andrews, who I believe she went down for manslaughter. I think she might be getting a retrial or something at the moment. They're saying she kept it 100 and she didn't snitch on Lil Poppa when he was brought up.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're talking about how the people in 1200 dish they side, correct? And then you're also talking about Papa. That's Lil Papa, right?
Yes.
And who's Lil Papa?
He's a rapper.
And you know that he also has a gang affiliation. Is that correct?
I mean, he doesn't claim it, so I don't know.
Okay. You know your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, is in a gang. Isn't that true?
I don't know that.
That's something.
So she's basically denying that he was involved, right? She's trying to keep it solid. People say, I never really listened to his music. I first heard about him during the Alicia Andrew trial when the prosecutor tried to get Alicia to give up Lil Poppa and snitch on him. Peep how Alicia shut that down with the quickness on some G stuff. People saying, Car's obsessed with with Alicia Andrews. People saying, I'm really just paying homage to Lil Poppa. That clip up top really shows how loyal she was to her people. She can't say the name for the rest in this Jacksonville war. While you guys are arguing about who's a rat and who ain't, Alicia actually kept it loyal to her set. She didn't snitch and shill for her gang. Plus, she had a crucial role in taking out Jacksonville's main op. I've simply got to expect that. They're saying the female prosecutor asked who's Lil Poppa. She probably thought Alicia would say gang member. Lol. Alicia hit her with the he a rapper. She cut different. Salute. But rest in peace to Lil Poppa. Okay, they're saying baby definitely quick on her feet. I like that, right? They're saying she kept it solid. Now, unconfirmed street rumors would actually suggest that Lil Poppa might have actually been financially hit to the hit on Fulio himself. People saying, do people know that Lil Poppa also paid for Fulio? And people are saying, I don't listen to bro. All I seen was he had a song on his new album called 4 a.m. in Tampa. I'm like, here we go. People saying, I didn't even know Poppa to diss like that, but I said I don't listen to him. He's always dissing in songs. And after he got beaten up at the mall by Fulio, no doubt he would be dissing him after he died. People are asking, what's the down payment? They're saying it was him and J-Dot that paid for the hit. All right. Saying, I'll diss him too if he whipped my ass. All right. Saying he really the general in 1200, but J-Dot got you fooled. Now, the official cause of Lil Poppa's death is at least unconfirmed as far as official channels go. But it has been reported that it might have been a tragic overdose or even taking his own way out, as fans have kind of been reacting to the news and trying to get to the bottom of it. People saying it can't be true. What the F? I hope it's not. The music scene's for sure over. It was already over, but this is the icing on the cake after Fulio passed. They're saying his mother confirmed it on Facebook. Saying, stop telling, this is some lyrics, right? It says, stop telling me you with me. The shit all on me. Won't be long until I'm gone and you're all going to see Russian roulette. People are saying if you listen to him, you already know where his mental health was at. I just hoped he wouldn't go out as early as he did. And he apparently talked about self-deletion in so many songs for years. And that's Scotty. Very, very sad. One of his producers. He's gone for real. People saying it's self-deletion in the comments, but if it's true, it's crazy because I remember years ago he posted that he was dying soon. No one took him serious. For real. Rest up, Lil Poppa. Jacksonville legend. It's crazy. And this is apparently his folks and his family confirming that he passed away. My heart is MF broken. Damn, Lil Cuz, you effed us up with this. People saying, no way, this is how I find out if it's real. They're saying, bro came straight here. I needed real confirmation. People saying he might have popped a fake pill. People saying it's honestly more believable. I saw someone else say it was an overdose as well. So I heard he was having trouble with his liver, took some cough syrup and some perks at the same time and overdose. That's just word on the street. Don't come at me if it's false. It's just very, very unfortunate that this is, this is how he went out. People say, I'm not from Florida or anywhere close, but I got to give bro his flowers. I started listening to him during all the beefs and was shocked to see how much of a progression his pen game would take over the years. He's written about depression in ways you'll rarely see. If you want to know what clinical depression feels like for some people, go and listen to a few Lil Poppa songs and see how you feel afterwards. Hard not to cry while listening to this guy. One of the greatest writers in Florida ever birthed. One of the greatest of his generation as well. Tremendous pen, good voice, great person. R.I.P. brother. And people are saying that he actually took his own life with prescriptions. That's what people are saying. Now, more and more fans would basically note just how open he had been about his struggles with depression and basically, plans to pass away. Somebody posted, when Lil Poppa die, I'm going to be so sad. And he said, don't be, because I won't. So he really wanted to go. People saying that boy was a different level of depressed, is sad as F. Others are saying he's at peace now. And rest in peace. Now, it's sad because he previously did hint that his last musical project would actually be his last, and that would have worked out to be the case. Now, this is Yo Gotti's CMG artist Lil Papa speaking on completing his final project and finding peace before death. The Jacksonville, Florida rapper seemingly cried out for help in a cryptic statement. He said, I got one more project and it's over. I'm going to find my peace. So let's see what he said.
Say don't. You'll be proud of me, OG. Woke up, read me a Bible verse, got some breakfast in my system, talked to God about it. You know what I'm saying? And he laid it on me. I got one more album, EP, mixtape, whichever one it's going to be, I got one more. And it's over, I'm going to find my peace.
So he was ready to go by the sounds of it, right? But that doesn't make it any easier, and there's been condolences and reactions all over the hip-hoposphere. This is in the NBA Youngboy subreddit, and, Youngboy's kind of adopted brother, sort of manager, close figure in his life, sort of a big bro to him. OG33 had a message for Lil Poppa, posted a picture of them together, said, man, you don't understand how you just made a thug cry. I wished you would have called me. May God bless your family forever. And people in the comments saying, Quando Rondo finna be devastated. They were hella close, same with No Cap. They're saying he's got a son too. It's so sad. And they know Quando's going to be hurt about this. They said, I can't believe him out of all of the guys. Rest in peace to one of my favorites. And now everybody's going to be a Poppa fan. People saying, this is crazy. Shake my head. Imagine how the internet would crash if Youngboy passed. I definitely don't want to wake up to read the news of Youngboy passing anytime soon, man. It's my favorite rapper right now. This is Queso from No Hospital Gang. Obviously, this is a guy that, recently went out in a very, very uncomfortable trial where his own father snitched on him. Queso posted, damn, little bro, you hurt my feelings. Obviously, he was connected. The No Hospital Gang was connected to the 1200 block and all that kind of thing under Ace's Top Killers. The gang that basically is led by Young and Ace, allegedly, where all of these gangs kind of fit in underneath. The people say, I'm not going to lie, gang, being here to see Prime Jacksonville was some great to see early 2020 to 2023. People are like, I don't mean to make this seem less serious, but now I understand the end of an era thing they were saying when Fulio passed. This shit literally came to a closing like the finale of a TV or show or something. Queso doing life, Fulio and Poppa gone, Ace married with kids. This is actually crazy to see. I hope everybody stays out the way and appreciates life as much as possible. So now the new dudes coming out of high school going to make the new wave. The cycle continues. RIP to the fallen. And so how is Queso having a phone in jail? And they're saying he don't. They post it to his account. But I'm hearing people in jail be getting the phones. But anyway, this is also Funny Mike and Bad Kid Jay and Lil Migo posting Lil Papa. It's a damn 5. It's another post saying my first big stream and my favorite rapper. It's tragic. There's another one saying, damn, brother, Lil Poppa, I'm sorry you wasn't happy. Life get hard, but not this hard. Appreciate you for everything you ever did. Always told you was one of them ones for sure. Glad we got to talk days ago. Rest easy, King. People saying him and Bad Kid J were real friends. They were together a lot. So rest in peace, Lil Poppa, man. And I do actually really, that comment really hit me, man. It is really like the season finale of Jacksonville Drill. I don't mean to make light of the situation with that, but you know, I covered Jacksonville Drill for years. The beef between Fulio and Young and Ace, the Who I Smoke song being viral, Fulio's response, When I See You, you know, Fulio's death. I've covered all of these things extensively on this channel and on my other channel, Trap Law Ross, my main channel where I do documentaries. And it's just so sad to see. You know, I always hoped and prayed that the violence would stop in Jacksonville, that some of the guys that were involved in those gang wars would find peace and find a way out of the streets. And unfortunately, you know, it's just not that easy for a lot of people. So rest in peace to Lil Poppa, man. It's sad. It's sad to see how the Jacksonville drill scene worked out and how it all transpired. But at the same time, that is how things tend to go in the streets, man. So yeah, very, very sad situation. Rest up, Lil Papa. And I will catch you guys in the next video, man. Peace.